It's hard to believe that this is Insurgency Sandstorm. Back when it launched in 2018, I never would have guessed that this title would still be doing tons of interesting things today. But something incredible has happened in the last 4 years, and today we're going to take a look at why Sandstorm is still such a fantastic game. Now, since launch, Sandstorm has received several major updates, aka operations that add features, modes, weapons, and general content like cosmetics. I've covered some of these updates over the years, like the one that added proper night maps with insanely realistic night vision mechanics. But in early 2020, they released the game's official public modding tools, and given Insurgency's history as a former mod of Half-Life 2, it makes sense that the developers would want to add mod support to Sandstorm, but the tools they delivered went above and beyond, giving modders a ton of power. Today, you can play on totally custom maps with a massively expanded arsenal of real-world guns and attachments. There's of course the expected things like Battlefield and Call of Duty map remakes, but there's also handcrafted, unique environments that are so good that they've actually been officially added as proper maps. The latest official map, Last Light, was originally a community-developed mod. Now, of course, modding isn't like a unique quality to Sandstorm, but the thing that stands out most about the mod content for this game is just how good it is. And in my opinion, nothing exemplifies that more than Operation Redwood. This map was originally launched soon after the game got official mod support and has since been remade as Redwood Reborn to ensure compatibility with future updates. That's the version that this gameplay is from, and I think it's safe to say that it's a stunning looking environment. I struggle to think of mods in other games that offer graphics of this caliber. Usually, mods offer worse visuals since the people working on them just don't have the same resources that the developers do. But thanks to modern game engines and asset stores making high quality assets super available, there's a bit of a renaissance right now. Insane mods and insane indie projects are just becoming more and more common. Redwood was built with mod tools in Unreal Engine 4 using assets from the Unreal Engine marketplace, and I love the idea of an already established title being able to benefit from all of the new resources popping up in these marketplaces. Though a lot of that new content is being optimized now for Nanite in Unreal Engine 5, which isn't something that will work in Unreal Engine 4. Now, of course, graphics aren't everything, and despite Redwood being an open environment with nothing but rocks and trees and a few buildings here or there, it still has a fantastic sense of pacing and tactical gameplay. Most of the maps in Sandstorm are variations of a town with tons of buildings and some open spaces to fight across. They can be hectic and kind of make you feel like your head's about to fall off since you're constantly checking 30 different angles all the time. But Redwood boils the shooter experience down to its more simple fundamentals, moving from cover to cover, planning your route carefully, and avoiding surprise bush Wookiees whenever possible. It's a notably different experience than Sandstorm's traditional maps, and I do like it. Now, while Sandstorm's devs have embraced some mod maps like Prison and Last Light, including them in the game as official maps, there's another community-made map that's just as good but hasn't been turned into an official map yet. Toro plays like many of Sandstorm's vanilla maps, but offers a level of fidelity that goes beyond them. It's an urban map that's much more densely packed with buildings and streets than most of the other base game maps. Every street you turn down seems to branch off with additional side streets and buildings that you can move through. The effort to construct a town that looks and feels like a real place stands out, and it's actually surprising that this map hasn't been added to the official pool. It's one of the game's oldest mods and also its most downloaded. Now, unfortunately, there's some big issues with the modding scene for, well, most games, but specifically with Sandstorm as well. Official updates tend to break Sandstorm's mods. There's several incredible maps like Mud Village and Forest that have broken textures thanks to recent game updates. And many more maps simply won't load or will outright crash the game if you try to load them. Even the maps that I'm featuring today have bugs that need to be addressed, like AI bots getting stuck on terrain and the game crashing when completing objectives. Now, the modding for Sandstorm does go deeper than just custom new maps. Think of any modern military firearm. Chances are that the Insurgency Sandstorm modding collaboration has added it to the game. Officially, Insurgency has gotten over a dozen new weapons since its launch, but ISMC offers tons of new guns, a huge expansion to the available attachments, additional weapon customization slots, and all sorts of balanced mutators. It's kind of crazy to see that the community has put this much effort into a single mod and delivered something that rivals or even beats what the game's official devs have done. ISMC lets you add an insane amount of gear to your guns. It's the sort of let them have their cake and eat it too mentality that results in Tarkov levels of gun Lego. But the fact that it's even possible in a game that wasn't really designed with all of this in mind is what makes Sandstorm so endearing. All of the extra slots and modifiers that ISMC adds lets players massively expand the capabilities of the battlefield, and it truly is a radical overhaul of basically every weapon system in the game. Now, another gameplay changing mod that's a bit simpler than ISMC but still very impactful is FPS legs. As you can probably guess, this one just gives your character legs in the first person view. Once you realize that your character in Sandstorm doesn't actually have legs, it's kind of impossible to unsee. Especially for a game that's so tactical and immersive, not having leg models seems like a major omission. Mods like FPS legs are classified as mutators, and there's a whole bunch of them worth checking out. They allow you to easily configure your custom server or private matches by adding features like the ability to control how much ammo players have, removing restricted areas, tweaking AI behavior, and more. And the coolest things about all of Sandstorm's mods is that the game will automatically download them for you if you're joining a modded server or subscribe to them on the game's mod.io library. It's as easy as using the server browser, finding community-hosted servers, running the mods, joining them, and the server will automatically download and install the required files. You can also play mods offline via local play, which lets you play solo or with bot teammates, and combining your favorite mods and maps with mutators gives you even more control. So if you want to play Redwood Reborn with bot teammates, ISMC, and FPS legs enabled, you just add them as options in the launch command. And once you get the hang of the console commands, it really opens up how customizable and replayable Sandstorm is. Unfortunately though, mod maps don't appear in the game's proper map selection pool, so you actually have to load them via the console commands. But most mods come with an extensive list of example commands to get you up and running quickly. That said, it would be really nice if the devs implemented a menu for configuring and launching mod maps, since console commands for more complex configurations can be a bit tedious and less inviting to newer players. Now, unfortunately, none of the features I've discussed so far are available on console. The developers have expressed the possibility of adding mod support for console versions of Sandstorm, but no public progress has been made. It's certainly a missed opportunity because, in my opinion, modding has been so crucial to Sandstorm's long-term success. And while vanilla Sandstorm still offers a pretty compelling combat experience, modders have built on top of it to create something that just is truly exceptional. It is at least nice that console players can benefit from PC modding, with the developers adding modded maps to the official roster. Now, if you're looking for a tactical FPS to play in 2023, well, Sandstorm should be a strong consideration, and especially if you've played it in the past but haven't really delved into the modding scene, it's certainly worth coming back to. This game's community cares deeply for it and has the talent to make some of the most compelling content that it's seen. Definitely check it out if you haven't already. And next up, check out this video for a game called Ground Branch. It's another tactical FPS that offers some of the most insane customization that I've ever seen in a game, and that's without mods. As always guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. This is Level Cap, signing off.